Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It's 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Some of you are going to join us live this morning, and I know others of you will be watching at some other point throughout the day on demand, which is absolutely fine, but we're glad you're joining us. No matter how you're tuning in today, watersedgechurch.net, the app, Church Online, YouTube, Facebook, all the ways. And thrilled that you're joining us for the first choice. That's what we're calling it, the first choice. And we chose that little name because, gosh, we think if you make the right choice first, it leads to a better day throughout the day. So thanks for making the first choice a priority. 7:30 every weekday morning. I'm your guy this week. We're sharing the opportunity of hosting the first choice among several of the pastors on staff. And today and this week is my week. It's my birthday week, by the way. And so that's a special honor to get to make the first choice with you on my birthday week, everybody. Hey, I don't know if you got your cup of coffee yet or not, but I've got mine. I'm on cup one still this morning. I chose a special cup to make you smile this morning. This is my wife's cup, all right? I just want to clarify. This is Tabitha's cup. I borrowed it from her this morning, and it says, "I don't need Google. My husband knows everything." How great is that? Oh, man, I'll drink to that. And now you know why the cup was sitting in the back of the cupboard, because she never uses it, because she don't believe it. But that's pretty funny. I don't need Google. My husband knows everything. Who's joining us this morning at 7:32, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, up and Adam, Tiffany and Emily, good morning. Lisa, Betsy, Frank. That's my neighbor, Frank. And every time we drive down the road past his house, we honk the horn twice and yell out the window, Frank. Can you imagine living next door to that? It's ridiculous. Good morning, LaKenya. Danny, good morning to you. Margaret, Lynn, Amanda, Betsy, Kathy, thank you. My birthday's on Friday, actually. But it's my birthday week, so we can celebrate all week long. Hi, Kelly. Good morning to you. Amber at Prestige Press. Good morning. For all your printing needs, call Amber at Prestige Press. Emily, Robin, good morning to you. Really thrilled that all of you have tuned in. And we make the first choice together each and every weekday morning. I just want to remind you of our theme verse that we're camping out on during this series that we're calling Upside Down. I love the theme verse. You're going to see how it all ties together in just a few moments. Good morning, Gail. Glad you've joined us today. This is Psalm 91, verse 1. And maybe you've begun memorizing it. I don't know. Psalm 91, verse 1. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. That came from memory. That's pretty good. He who dwells in the shadow of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. And I love that promise. It's just a reminder that, gosh, we can have a shelter in this season that seems pretty stormy, and we can have rest, like real rest, which is what some of us need. I mean, you woke up from a night of sleep, but you didn't get rest. And if you need rest, you find it in the shadow of the Almighty, meaning you find it in relationship and connection with our God. And I love that. I love that theme verse. What we do during the first choice, by the way, is we utilize the web notes. It's kind of our guide. And if you aren't familiar with those, you can get them on our Waters Edge app or from the website, watersedgechurch.net/web notes. We have a phenomenal team of volunteers, and maybe you'd want to join that team sometime, who write our web notes. You know that I don't write our web notes based on the very first sentence of today's devotional in the web notes, which says, in today's noisy world with its cacophony, is that a word I would ever use? Cacophony? Am I even saying it right? Cacophony, cacophony. With its cacophony of voices calling us in different directions, it's easy to find ourselves confused and overwhelmed. Now, you know, I don't write the web notes, everybody, but smart people do, obviously, and really great writers. And I think that's so true, that in the noise of the world around us, it's easy, especially right now, to feel overwhelmed and to feel confused. The web notes go on to talk about this, probably how the woman that we studied on Sunday, the woman that had the issue of blood, the woman who'd been sick for 12 years, that's probably how she felt with all that had been going on in her life. No doubt she felt overwhelmed. No doubt she felt confused. And I think we can relate with all that's going on in our world right now. You know, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. It's easy to feel confused. Maybe you woke up feeling that way today. Maybe you went to bed last night feeling that way. And maybe you're facing something today. Maybe it's something at work or something with your kids or a doctor's appointment, or maybe you've already had the news on this morning, which is a bad idea. That's a bad first choice, by the way. Maybe you've already looked at CNN.com or FoxNews.com or I don't know, usatoday.com, and you have already started to feel overwhelmed. You've already started to feel confused. And there's a couple of ways that can lead you. One of the ways that can lead you is it can lead you to shut down. And that's really what today's web notes focus in on, is that this woman who had the sickness for 12 years, this woman we studied on Sunday, in the craziness of her illness being considered unclean by her religious system, no doubt culturally being outcast, being destitute, being homeless, being hungry, and now finding herself in a crowd that was pressing in on Jesus. She could have been paralyzed by that. She could have shut down. She could have crawled back in the bed and covered her head up with the covers again. You ever done that? Where it just is too much. She could have crawled up in the corner and just lost herself binge watching another season of her favorite TV show on Netflix. She could have lost herself in the constant scrolling of Instagram or Facebook. She could have done those things. I say that because that's what a lot of us do. When I feel overwhelmed, when I feel confused, when I feel the pressures of the world pressing in, I want to try to escape. I want to try to find a place that just allows me to kind of forget about it for a little while. Forget about it. Forget about it. Anybody know what that's from? Forget about it. Mickey Blue Eyes. Yep. Mickey Blue Eyes. I know nothing about movies, but that one I can quote. So I want to give you, though, today, and based on our web notes, an alternate plan. For those of you who feel overwhelmed, an alternate plan. Susie and Deborah, Melissa. Hi, Kelly, my other neighbor. Good morning, Savannah. Aller, good morning. Georgia Anna, good morning to you. I want to give you another alternative plan. When you feel overwhelmed, when you feel confused, when you feel like the noise of the world around you, the cacophony, read the web notes, of the noises around us are too much to handle. And instead of turning to Facebook to mindlessly scroll, instead of crawling back in the bed, instead of binge watching, instead of just walking around like Eeyore, like the world is coming to an end, I want to give you another alternative plan. And I think the woman with the issue of blood, the woman that we studied Sunday, is the perfect example of this. Because instead of being paralyzed in her fear and in her hurt and in her pain and her confusion, she actually pushed through the crowd to grab the hem of the robe of Jesus. We're going to talk about that one more on another day this week in the first choice. And there's some significance there that maybe you've never studied or heard about. I'm going to teach it to you another morning. But she pushed through the crowd to grab the hem of the robe of Jesus. And I want to just challenge you today that to respond to confusion, hurt, pain, um, overwhelmedness, to respond with that same level of tenacity, that same level of audacious faith, to push through the pain, the confusion, the hurt, and reach out to Jesus. In our web notes today, they say to read Hebrews chapter 12. Hebrews chapter 12. And I want to just focus in on two verses from Hebrews chapter 12 that I think relate to what we're talking about today. This is Hebrews 12 and 13. I'm going to read it to you from the Message translation. The Message says this: so don't sit around on your hands. No more dragging your feet. Come on, think about that. When you feel overwhelmed, what do you want to do? Well, don't sit around on your hands. No more dragging your feet. Clear the path for long distance runners, so no one will trip and fall, so no one will step in a hole and sprain an ankle. Help each other out. I love the last phrase. It says, and run for it. Run for it. Run for it. Run for what? Run for Jesus. I'll give it to you from another translation, the New Living Translation. So take a new grip with your tired hands and strengthen your weak knees. Mark out a straight path for your feet so that those who are weak and lame will not fall, but will become strong. And today, if you feel the weight, if you feel the pressure, if you feel the burden, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like, man, this is too much, Doug, good morning to you. If you feel like, gosh, I don't know if I've got it in me to go and make a difference today. I don't know if I got it in me to handle these kids today. I don't know if I got it in me to make these decisions at work today. I don't know if I got it in me to handle the, jerk face that I work with in the cubicle beside me. I don't know if I got it in me to wait tables or drive Uber or handle these medical decisions or whatever you do for your job today. If you don't think you have it in you, if you feel overwhelmed, listen, there's a place you can run. There's a place you can move with audacity, like the woman with the issue of blood. Run to Jesus. I'm going to give it to you again. Those who dwell in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Psalm 91:1. That's our theme verse for the series. And that's where you can run today. No matter what you're dealing with, no matter what you're struggling or facing, there's an alternative to crawling up, covering up, staying in bed all day, binge watching Netflix, and wishing that this season would pass. There's an alternative. You can allow the problems of this season to be an opportunity that cause you to run to Jesus. And I just want to pray that you'll do that today. And that you'll join me tomorrow for another First Choice, 7:30 every single morning this week. It's my birthday week, y'all. So come on. And I don't know what's happening up here. I'm going to work on it so that tomorrow it's a little more tame. I don't know what's happening, but let me pray for you today. Father, I love you. Thank you for every single one of my friends who are joining me today, either live right now or joining me at some point throughout the day to make a choice to focus their heart, their mind, their soul, their attention on you. And in a season where there's so much coming against us, where there's so much confusion and so much fear and so much anxiety and so much pressure, I pray that we would all allow it to cause us to run to you. Thank you that you are our protection. You are our provider. You are the shelter. You are the one who gives us rest. And so we strengthen our knees today and we fix our grip today and we run for it today. We run for you. I pray that would be true for every single person here. Strengthen them, give them courage, give them faith, and remove the obstacles that stand in the way from them following after you today. We love you, Jesus. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Hey, it's been a great time being with you this morning. Again, tomorrow, 7:30, we'll be back together. We'll continue using our web notes, so you can make sure you download those. We'll continue talking about Sunday sermon. So if you weren't able to tune in on Sunday, you can still listen to it, watch it, experience it. Be ready for tomorrow morning, 7:30. We'll make the first choice together. Bring your favorite coffee mug. My wife says I don't need Google. My husband knows everything. Have a great day, everybody. We love you. God bless you. See you tomorrow morning.